Well, it's obvious that this appeals court has a bias towards Trump reducing his civil bond to 175. Like, he brags about having billions of dollars. He claims to have 500 million to do a campaign, and his net worth is supposedly 2.6 billion. So this dude can pay his bill, but all these courts want to treat him as a special person and let him off lightly because they want him to become president and allow these judges and stuff to continue being corrupt.
Minute, an appeals court reducing the bond in his civil fraud case by more than half to $175 million. The trial judge had set it at more than $450 million. Mr. Trump praising the ruling.
What they do is they
Why is it like if this was like a regular person who'd done something similar, they wouldn't get their bond reduced. They would be in jail.
do election interference, which is court cases, and let's try and tie him up and let's take as much of his money as possible. I respect the appellate division for substantially reducing that ridiculous amount of money.
With no lenders.
Though it's funny how Trump is all about law and order, and then when he gets caught breaking the law, he screams and rants about how it's other BS.
Willing to cover the staggering penalty while he appeals. Mr. Trump was facing the prospect of New York's Attorney General seizing his iconic properties and bank accounts as soon as today, but now has 10 days to come up with the far smaller bond. Mr. Trump said,
Why did they give him an extra 10 days to come up with the bond when he already has the money?
Saying he has the cash, and was pressed by NBC's Garrett Haake.
And now that the bond's been reduced, are you going to start putting money into your campaign?
Well, first of all, it's none of your business, I mean, frankly, but I might.
The court found
It's funny how he got so pissed about being asked if he's going to put the money into his campaign when he's already said on Truth Social that's what he's doing.
Mr. Trump falsely inflated the value of his properties to get banks to give better loan terms. His attorneys are appealing, saying there were no victims, that the banks were repaid. But today, New York Attorney General Letitia James.
That doesn't mean anything. The fact that he still committed a crime, he committed a crime. Just because he wants to claim there's no victims doesn't mean there was. I mean, if somebody were to go to a store, steal a bunch of stuff, and then later return it, they still committed a crime, even though they returned the items. Or if somebody broke into a person's house, stole some stuff, and then later returned it, they still committed a crime. So, whatever.
Highlighted the former president is still on the hook should he ultimately lose his appeal, saying Donald Trump is still facing accountability for his staggering fraud. The $464 million judgment plus interest against Donald Trump and other defendants still stands. Meanwhile, the presumptive GOP nominee sat stone-faced in a different courtroom today, receiving a serious setback. A judge in Manhattan setting a new date of April 15th for the first-ever criminal trial of a former president. Facing charges of doctoring his company's records to cover up an alleged affair before the 2016 election, Mr. Trump's legal team today faced.
I bet the Trump cultists will be screaming about how he didn't commit a crime, paying Stormy Daniels hush money to be quiet about the affair or doctoring documents and stuff like that. Nor will they actually say anything about Trump having an affair, even though they want to claim he's the most Christian person in the world.
Failed to convince the judge from delaying the trial any further.
I don't know how you can have a trial that's going on right in the middle of an election. Not fair. They're all trying to.
Wow, what a crybaby. Oh no, how can you charge me with crimes when I'm running for president? Like, just because you're running for president doesn't mean that, special abilities to be immune to charges and trial. This is how stupid Trump is. He thinks running for president means he's immune from being charged for anything. Does that mean that somebody can go out and murder a person and then run for president and be like, Well, I'm running for president, so that means you can't charge me for murdering a person.
To damage Trump as much as possible. It's having the reverse effect.
And Laura, so this trial will get underway.
What's also funny is Trump believes that a president can do anything they want unless they're impeached by Congress. So Biden can charge him with whatever crimes he wants, even if that messes up his campaign. And and if Congress doesn't impeach Biden for it, well, there's nothing Trump can do.
In 3 weeks, the former president was asked today whether he would testify in the case.
Yes, Lester, and he says he would have no problem testifying, saying he's done nothing wrong. And he did take the stand in his civil fraud trial, but a criminal trial comes with very different risks.
Yeah, Trump thinks he's done nothing wrong all the time. No matter what it is, he's done nothing wrong. He's raped a woman. He claims he's done nothing wrong. Fraud. He claims he's done nothing wrong. He's lied about the hush money payments and thinks he's done nothing wrong. He's attempted to overthrow the election and thinks he's done nothing wrong. This dude needs to be put in prison for the rest of his life, which isn't too long.